What if I told you that one man's obsession with nature helped shape the way we experience the outdoors today? Yosemite could have been covered in hotels or oil fields, ancient forests could have been completely wiped out, wild places all across America could have disappeared forever, but one man refused to let that happen. John Muir didn't just love nature, he fought to save it. And because of him, we can still climb, hike, and explore all the pristine landscapes he once called home. This is the story of how John Muir's legacy saved the natural world for outdoor lovers everywhere. John Muir was born on April 21, 1838 in a small coastal town of Dunbar, Scotland. Growing up, he developed a strong love for the natural world, spending countless hours exploring the rugged coastlines, rocky cliffs, and rolling countryside of his homeland. As a child, he was captivated by the beauty of nature, often sketching plants and animals and writing about his discoveries. But John's lovely childhood came to an abrupt end when his father, a strict and deeply religious man, decided to move the family to the United States in search of better opportunities. At just 11 years old, John embarked on a tough journey across the Atlantic Ocean with his parents and siblings, settling on a farm in Wisconsin. Life in America was harsh and physically demanding. John's father enforced a strict work regimen, expecting his children to work long hours in the fields. The young John spent much of his time clearing land, chopping wood, and tending crops, leaving little room for his pursuits. Despite his exhausting routine, his passion for nature never faded. He found moments of escape in forests and meadows surrounding the farm, studying plants, animals, and the changing seasons. John was also a gifted inventor. In his rare moments of free time, he built wooden machines, including clocks and an early version of an automatic bed that would tip up its occupant onto the floor at a set time. His mechanical skills even earned him a place at the University of Wisconsin, where he studied botany and geology. However, the structured academic setting couldn't hold his adventurous spirit, and he eventually left without completing a degree. Then in 1867, a life-changing event took place. While working in a factory in Indianapolis, John suffered a near-blinding eye injury when a metal file slipped and struck his eye. For weeks, he lay in darkness, uncertain if he would ever see again. During his recovery, John had an awakening that if his sight was restored, he would dedicate his life to studying and protecting nature. When his vision finally returned, he wasted no time. He set off on an extraordinary 1,000-mile journey on foot from Indiana to Florida, a trip later called the 1,000-Mile Walk to the Gulf. John documented every detail of his journey, from the dense forests of Tennessee to the mosquito-infested swamps of Florida. Along the way, he was mesmerized by the beauty and diversity of the American wilderness, and he became even more convinced that nature was something to be cherished and protected. But this journey didn't end in Florida. Seeking even greater landscapes, Muir continued westward, eventually making his way to California. When he arrived in California's Sierra Nevada, he was overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the towering granite cliffs, cascading waterfalls, and ancient sequoia trees. It was here in Yosemite Valley that Muir found his true home. He spent years exploring the region, climbing its peaks, and studying its ecosystems. The breathtaking scenery left a permanent mark on his soul, and he knew that he had found his life's purpose. This passion led him to become one of history's greatest conservationists, fighting tirelessly to protect the lands he loved. And so the journey that began in a small Scottish town and continued through the farmlands of Wisconsin led John Muir to a lifelong mission to defend nature against destruction, ensuring that its beauty and wonder never be lost. You know, John Muir wasn't just a legendary explorer, he was a guy who wore his love for the wild. And while you might not be trekking through Yosemite every day, you can rep that same adventurous spirit. The problem? Most outdoor apparel either looks like it was made for a survivalist boot camp, or it's just another generic t-shirt that barely holds up after a few washes. That's why we launched ShopOutdoorOrigins.com, our very own clothing store designed for people who love the outdoors and want stylish, high-quality graphic tees. Even if you've never seen our channel before, you'll love our designs. They're not just for fans, they're the kind of cool, modern graphic tees you'd buy from any premium brand. And as we grow, we'll be rolling out even more gear, so whether you're hiking trails or just looking for a great fitting t-shirt, we've got you covered. Products on our website are clean, stylish, outdoor-themed designs made from premium materials that hold up over time. And we even have some scenic prints for those who want to bring a little bit of nature into their home or office. And hey, before you go check out the website, make sure to subscribe and comment on this video for a chance to win any item from our website. One lucky winner will be picked, but you must live in the US to enter. So scroll down, click the link below, and check out Shop Outdoor Origins today. At the time, Yosemite wasn't the protected paradise we know today. Logging companies were destroying its ancient sequoia trees, miners were carving through the mountains, and developers were eager to turn Yosemite's pristine valley into resorts and private properties. The idea of preserving nature for its own sake was still new, and most people saw the wilderness as something to be conquered and tamed. But John Muir saw it differently. He saw it as sacred, and he knew he had to act fast. John used one of the most powerful tools he had, his words. Through passionate essays and articles, he described the magnificence of Yosemite with such poetry poetic beauty that had captivated the nation. His writings reached politicians, scientists, and everyday citizens, inspiring a movement to protect America's last wild places. But his most influential reader was President Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a dedicated outdoorsman, but he had never experienced anything like Yosemite. In 1903, he and Muir embarked on a legendary 3-day camping trip deep in the Yosemite wilderness. There were no guards, no fancy accommodations, just Muir and Roosevelt alone in the undenying beauty of nature. Muir used this opportunity to passionately argue for greater federal protections for Yosemite and other natural landscapes. He spoke about the importance of preserving these lands not just for their beauty but for future generations to experience their wonders. The trip had a profound impact on Roosevelt. He woke up one morning to find himself covered in a fresh blanket of snow, an experience he later described as one of the most memorable of his life. Inspired by the journey, Roosevelt took immediate action. He expanded federal protections for Yosemite, transferring control from the state of California to the federal government to prevent further destruction. During his presidency, Roosevelt went on to establish 5 national parks, 18 national monuments, and over 150 national forests, laying the foundation for what would later become the national park system. Prior to this point, Muir had put in a lot of effort. In 1892, he co-founded the Sierra Club, an organization dedicated to protecting wild places. The Sierra Club became one of the most influential environmental organizations in the world, rallying people to join the cause to defend America's natural heritage. Thanks to his relentless efforts, millions of acres of land were safeguarded, ensuring that future generations could experience the same breathtaking landscapes that had inspired him. John Muir's fight for Yosemite was more than just a personal mission. It was the beginning of a movement that changed the way the world viewed conservation. His legacy lives on every time someone hikes through a national park, gazes at an untouched landscape, or finds solace in the quiet beauty of the natural world. Without his vision and determination, many of the wild places might have been lost forever, reminding us that the privilege of experiencing nature's grandeur today directly results from his tireless fight to protect it. But not all of Muir's battles ended in victory. One of his greatest defeats in his life was the fight to save Hetch Hetchy Valley, a place called one of nature's rarest and most precious mountain temples. After the devastating 1906 earthquake, San Francisco was in ruins. The disaster highlighted the city's urgent need for a stable, long-term water supply. City officials proposed damming Hetch Hetchy, a stunning valley within Yosemite's national park, to create a reservoir that would provide clean water for generations. Many saw it as a practical solution, but Muir saw it as an irreversible tragedy. Muir believed that no matter how pressing the city's needs were, nature should never be sacrificed. He argued that once lost, places like Hetch Hetchy could never be restored. He poured his soul into the fight, writing passionate articles, lobbying Congress, and rallying the Sierra Club to take a stand. His words struck a chord with conservationists and everyday citizens alike, igniting a nationwide debate on the ethics of destroying protected lands. For years, Muir fought tirelessly, refusing to accept the idea that economic progress should come at the expense of nature's beauty. But the opposition was powerful. Politicians, businessmen, and city leaders argued that San Francisco's survival depended on the project. In 1913, after nearly a decade of fierce debate, Congress approved the dam. President Woodrow Wilson signed the Raker Act into law, sealing Hetch Hetchy's fate. Muir was devastated. He had spent his life defending wild places, and now he had lost one of the most precious. Many believe the heartbreak from the defeat contributed to his declining health. Just a year later, in 1914, John Muir passed away. Though he lost the battle, the fight for Hetch Hetchy was not in vain. It sparked a new era of environmental activism, strengthening the national park system and shaping modern conservation policies. Today, efforts to restore Hetch Hetchy continue, proving that Muir's spirit still inspires those who believe in protecting the wild. John Muir may not have won every battle, but his legacy lives on in every national park, in every climber pushing to new heights, and in every hiker taking in the beauty of the wilderness. He once wrote, "The mountains are calling, and I must go." Today, millions of people hear that same call and answer by immersing themselves in nature's wonders. His writings and activism inspired generations of conservationists, shaping laws and policies that continue to protect our natural spaces. The creation of the national park system was just the beginning. Thanks to John Muir's influence, organizations like the Sierra Club, the National Park Service, and countless grassroots movements have carried this mission forward, ensuring that wild places remain safeguarded for future generations. So next time you find yourself out in the wild, whether you're hiking a scenic trail, camping under the stars, or simply breathing in the fresh mountain air, remember John Muir. His passion, dedication, and sacrifices made it possible for us to experience nature the way he saw it, wild, free, and worth fighting for. And just like he once took a stand, it's now up to us to continue his mission and protect these irreplaceable landscapes for generations to come. So next time you're on a hike or in the national park, park, make sure to pick up some trash and leave it better than you found it. Thanks for watching. We are so happy you made it to the end. If you'd like to support our content and get some awesome gear, check out shopoutdoororigins.com. You can find the link in the pinned comment. And remember, buying our gear allows us to expand the channel and create even more high quality content. Someday you can see gear reviews, how-to videos, and in the wild documentaries. Again, scroll down and click the pinned comment to check out shopoutdoororigins.com. And since you're still here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for being a part of this community, and we'll see you in the next one.